So on this video, we're going to be looking at pre-touch and post-touch. This is a tool that we use for line defense. It's actually a very basic tool. So right when you start teaching 6-on-6 line defense, we talk about pre-touch and post-touch. Now, as you may know in the name, pre-touch stands for what you do, what your actions are as a defender before the touch. So pre-touch. So let's have a look at pre-touch right now. So Manly are defending, and normally, we get the pen. Normally, players want to dump on one of the two middles. Unless you are running a punish play, which is like a quickie on the link or a middle sweep, you really only want to be dumping on the middles because it provides options either side. So if you dump somewhere out here, you're really only trying to attack there or right there. You can't open up for a 5-on-4. It's a really impossible pass. So everyone can just shut down. So middle, go up, and as you can see, the most important is the open side. So their pre-touch is dropping back to the line. They want to be on the line as soon as possible. In a perfect world, it's as soon as they play that ball. Okay, as soon as the ball's on the ground, you want to be on this line. Now it's a fine line because the rule states that you must be moving forward. Everyone must be moving forward while ever someone's in that 7 meters, or in this case it might have been 5, I'm not sure. So when the touch is imminent, that's when we're allowed to retreat. So as you can see, this player's coming in for the dump. Everyone else is retreating back to the line. That's our pre-touch. And the reason we want to be retreating back to the line is because we want to be getting off the line when the ball's coming at us. And it's not as important now because this is dummy half, but looking at a later clip, it will become clear. Now, post-touch. So as you can see, everyone here is in gaps. No one's actually in front of a player. Well, this person is, but the defender in front of him is actually going to be running into that hole. And we hold. We get off the line a little bit and we hold. As a middle, we hold. And we almost want that dummy half to think that there is a channel there that they can run through. So when they're a dummy half, they can't dive at your feet, obviously. They're dummy half. So you can give them a little bit of space as this middle. You can be like, hey, there's a hole there. I want you to run through it. Everyone else is sort of holding their ground and waiting to react to a pass. But because you're because you're providing a little bit of a gap, you now become closer to this middle here. If he throws the ball, you actually have the chance to react. And this person pushes out. This winger pushes out, because that gap there is a little bit bigger than normal. And at the last minute, when they start to run through it, you reach. Now you don't turn in. Look at the way he's reaching. His body shape is always ready to chase out if needed. So he reaches in with, in this case, his left arm. Nearly got fooled then. With his left arm, and makes the touch. And notice how that touch is made right when he's getting through the line. So the dummy half probably thought, oh, there's a gap there, I'm going to run through it. And then he reached in to make the touch. And by the time the defender made the touch, there was no way he could get a pass out without the pass going this high. And then everyone else can react, or Manly probably catch the ball. But again, looking back to the dump, you can see the open side, getting a good pre-touch, and now getting good post-touch. Touch. You can focus in training on the middles. These are the two middles now. Everyone else will get the picture from there. If everyone can do the middles job, excellent. So you can see now, there's the touch. He's pulling corner. That's good shape. Not so much the link, but that's okay. He's still moving towards the corner. But you can see the other middle back there already. That's good pre-touch. Link is not too bad. He's on his way back as well. Wingers can be better, but he's got a little bit more time to get his movements right. And you can see what this middle does, who's back. Now the touching middle is probably going to show his inside shoulder and get beaten on the inside, which is totally fine. Give them the 4-on-3. Now you can see this middle is holding. Link is holding. And he's off the line. And he's showing him a little bit of a hole to run through. And there it is at the last minute. And you can see him try to push that pass. But because this player is literally standing in the way, he can't throw through him. He has to throw behind him. He can't throw in front of him because he's already past the point where he could have thrown the pass. And as you can see, the closer he gets to the line, the further in this link moves to make the touch on the short pass. Because this winger's out here and he pretty much can react to whatever they try and throw over the top. This winger's got it. But it's very important for that middle to not automatically bite in. Show him the space, last minute. Now I usually use the indicator of if you're looking forward, if your eyes are on here, on this player, as soon as the ball carrier is outside of your peripheral vision, you can actually still make the touch. And it's usually about parallel with you. And that's just good pre-touch and good post-touch from the middles. Let's have a look again. Now this time they're running an ML. We do have a video on ML, so check it out if you want to. This player is going to be the ball player and he's going to be live, so he can score. Now the difference with our pre-touch now, we still want to get back to the line, which this is on the run, so it's a lot harder, but here's good pre-touch. He's on his way back. We just don't want him up here next to his other middle making the touch together. So he's on his way back, he's holding, and he just needs to be a little bit more tight because now this player can dive at the line. And we don't want him diving at our feet, so we've got to have that a little bit tighter. This link will step off the line and be holding in a channel that he can make the touch on this player, or if there's an early pass thrown, he can chase out. Or the winger shuts down. Excuse me. So he's not standing in front of anyone, he's standing in this gap, making his decision based on what the ball carrier does. So let's see what happens here. The middle does a late shut here. Well, he's doing a late shut, but he forces the ball carrier to throw the pass pretty early, giving this player enough time to react. And because he's in good post-touch, didn't actually use that word, post-touch, they're both able to shut the play down because they forced him to pass the ball early. As soon as he ran into that gap, he realized that there's nothing there for him. And if he throws the ball to that link, if he rips that pass to the link, winger's there. If he throws to the winger, he's got to throw over these players, otherwise they'll take the intercept, which means the ball's going to be in the air for a long time, giving our winger and link time to turn and chase. And that's why we're going to get off the line too. But our next video is a perfect example. They run that ML again. Perfect example on why we get off the line. So you can see our players getting back to the line now. They're about to drive into this player, so the touch is imminent. So he's getting back to the line. Very good. Very good pre-touch. But let's check out the post-touch on this one. Good shape, pulling corner, by the way. Just a slight mention. Here's the ML. And he's off the line. You can see the gap between foot and line there. And this player is going to try and dive at his feet. But because he's standing off the line, he can shut that down there. That is what I would call perfect post-touch positioning. Because if he throws the pass, you're close enough to each player to make the touch on either one of them. This guy reacts well. He aims up coming in. If anything, he'd probably be a little bit further off the line, but I'm not too critical at the time. He's done a pretty good job. And you can see there, if they throw short, I reckon if he dives, he probably gets it. And he makes the touch because he's off the line. If he had been standing on the line, just view this in slow motion coming up so the lines don't appear again. If he had have stayed there where he is now, and they dive at your feet, guarantee you that ball will hit the line before you can get your hand down. Because you just don't know when they're going to dive. You can't react the same time as what they do. You can only react to things after they do it. That's why it's called a reaction. Who'd have thought? Yeah, full speed, it's not going to work. There we go. Great touch. Great defense. But that is pre-touch and post-touch. So pre-touch, getting back on side, especially that open side. Short side, you can be up a little bit higher because you're just going to man on. Open side, then getting off the line and standing in channels. Our next video is going to be talking specific channel defense and where you can position yourself to make sure that you're giving the attacker as little opportunity to get a good pass away as possible. So specific there, we want to be just getting back on side and moving off the line and being ready. But thanks for watching. Hopefully you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.